This is a young man who is coming along at a time when there is a wave on the part of voters around the country demanding change. He's a successful businessman who knows the value of a dollar, who knows how important it is to cut costs and to maximize every expenditure. He knows that he can bring those business skills to state government where they're so badly needed. He's an innovator and someone who is committed to innovation and will look for new ways and new ideas to approach the problems in state government. Perhaps most important, he brings vision. And I think his slogan of Dream Big Kentucky says it all, because this is a state that needs to dream big dreams. We need to think beyond what has held us back historically and think about a different and a brighter future for all of our people in every corner of this state. And if David brings his talents, his innovative spirit, his expertise on finances and technology to Frankfort and his vision for a stronger future, then we will have a better future in Kentucky because of his service in Frankfort. I'm very proud to have been asked to be here tonight. I'm proud to support his candidacy.
And this election is so important, just like Fritz said. It's important nationally, but it's also important for our state of Kentucky, for our Kentucky. And the reason is, we're at a critical juncture right now. We really are. Our state is economically, we're at a critical juncture, and the decisions we make in 25 days, those decisions are going to say, are we going to stay mired in partisan politics, or are we, as Kentucky, going to vote and vote for progress? And that is something that we have to do. Politics, to me, is a lot like that definition of insanity. It's like you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, here in this district, we've been electing the same guy over and over again, and we expect a different result. And it's just not going to happen. My opponent, he cast a very unusual vote a couple weeks ago, and probably some of you saw that. It was a vote to give the Legislative Research Commission director a 47% cost of living raise. That was a little bit more than a cost of living raise. 47%. That was a $63,000 raise. $63,000 raise. Now that was a slap in my face and your face, but it was a really big slap to our state government workers and our teachers especially, because just a few months ago we told them, you get a 1% raise. You get a 1% raise because our state's in an economic crisis right now. And that's not fair. The director's raise was double what a starting teacher makes. Just think about that, double what a starting teacher makes. And then my opponent went on this week to say in the Courier-Journal that it was the right vote under the circumstances. It was the right vote under what circumstances? Our state's in an economic crisis. And the reason he gave was, well, the guy was going to retire if we didn't give him the raise. That makes no sense at all. I mean, I run a lot of businesses, and if somebody walked into me and said, you give me a raise or I'm going to leave, well, don't let that door hit you on the way out, because that's exactly how I would have handled it. To me, though, the $63,000 raise is an outrage. But the bigger outrage to me was the message it sent to all of us. It sent a horrible message. The timing was terrible. What it said was that they're out of touch, just completely out of touch with the people that they represent. Now, I want to tell you the backstory, because that was a closed-door vote, but I got a call because there were a couple people in that room that called me as soon as the vote was over. And they said, guess what? DeWeese was going to do the right thing. He was going to vote no. But something happened, and two people happened. David Williams and Jeff Hoover came walking in that room. They grabbed my opponent, drug him over to the corner, and they talked to him for 3 minutes. He comes back and votes yes for that. So it just begs the question, who does he represent? It's not us. He represents partisanship in that, and that's something that we cannot have in Frankfort any longer. And my opponent is touting what a great leader he was in this last legislative session. And folks, Pat Crawley called it the worst legislative session in modern history. The worst in modern history. I mean, that is absolutely horrible. And what he put up during that session were 6 bills, 6 out of 1,300 bills, and 5 of the six had to do with the medical profession. All right, he's a retired doctor. All right, and things like medical malpractice reform, things like forgiveness of doctor and dental loans. All right, that is stuff that's not for us. All right, that's for a special interest group that he represents. And the funny thing is, too, he had a fundraiser about a month ago, and there was a large, I would have loved to have had a list of hosts that were on this thing, but 38 people were listed, and 32 of them had doctor in front of their name. 32 of them. So again, who does he represent? It is not big issues. We have large issues that are facing our state and our nation right now, and we talk about the economy. All right, that is a huge issue that's really coming home to roost right now. But I think with vision, what we do is we look at that economic condition and we say to ourselves, how can we correct it? How can we make it better? And I think education is the key to doing that. Okay, studies are showing that 90%, think about that, of all intellect is formed by the time you're 4 years old. That's kind of scary if you really think about it. By the time you're 4, you got 90% of what you're going to have for life. All right? And knowing that, though, Kentucky should be a leader in early childhood education. I mean, wouldn't it make sense? Because if we plant that foundation of learning, what we're going to have is children excelling in grade school, children excelling in high school, and excelling in college. And the harvest we're going to get from that harvest is going to be one of the most educated workforces we've ever seen. A revenue base that we've never seen before. We're going to see our welfare rolls diminish. We're going to see our jail population go down. Education is the key, and that is something that we have got to do. Kentucky, I tell you, dream big, because we can be either blessed or cursed, depending on how you look at it, with a ton of commercial development and a ton of residential development. The only problem with that is that our infrastructure is about 10, 15 years behind that. And so we have to make sure that our roads are taken care of. And you think about the amount of money, we're per capita probably one of the largest or wealthiest areas in the state. And the money we send to Frankfurt, we need to make sure that money is coming back to improve our roads and improve our infrastructure. Just makes sense. My background in technology, I think that we can make Kentucky a very modernized technological state. I think we can use technology to cut down a lot of things that right now we have paper processes for. We just need to use technology smart. You know, Crit talked about Dream Big Kentucky. This is the theme of my campaign, and I absolutely love it. And if you look at all these little hands up here, these are all 2- and 4-year-olds that made this at a school for me. And they also made the one in there, Support the Dream poster. It is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful, and I think we've got to invest in our kids. I have dreams that together we can accomplish anything that we want. Anything at all that we want. I want you to think about your family. I want you to think about your kids. I want you to think about your grandkids. I want you to think of what future we want. What Kentucky do we want them to inherit? Okay? I have 3 kids. My oldest is 19. My daughter's just about ready. 2 days after the election, she's going to be 18, so she can't vote, unfortunately. And Andrew's here with us tonight. He's 14. And that I know that I want them to be able to think, wow, I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. Anything that they can, I want them to realize. So I challenge you, dream big, Kentucky, and we'll see early childhood education that plants the seed of lifelong learning in our kids. Dream big, Kentucky, and we'll say goodbye to all the partisan politics that are just holding our state back. Dream big, Kentucky, and we'll see arts program for our kids that are lighting the fire of imagination. Dream big, Kentucky, and we'll see leaders that are statesmen and not gamesmen. And dream big, Kentucky, and we'll see the dawn of a new day in Kentucky we are all proud to call home. I encourage you, dream big. I am. God bless you, and thank you for being here.